In this week's video, we pick up a second-gen Raptor from one of my good friends and a Futura lowering trailer to haul my Legacy GT and S14 all over the greater Seattle area. And you'll get a quick update on where the S14 has been and what will be coming up next for it as we get it back here from the shop.
Oh yeah, we've got a fucking Raptor. Shout out Brandon Washington, I appreciate you, bro. All right, let's go find part 2 to this puzzle and get the trailer. All right, guys, we are back in the Raptor. I just got off work and we're heading over to Driven Collision Center to pick up the 240. Finally, I am so excited to see this car. I saw it for the first time a couple weeks ago with all the front end on it, and it was the first time I'd ever seen it with the front end on, and I was absolutely freaking out. But we're just gonna be taking it temporarily because I need to take the car home, pull the gas tank, fuel lines, and then we're gonna be dropping it off for sandblasting on Thursday, I believe, and then back to Driven to get new black epoxy on the whole bottom of the car and a rubberized undercoating so this thing looks better than it did from the factory. But enough of me talking, let's get over to Driven and we're gonna get this car picked up. Oh yeah, boys, we got the 240 back. Taking this thing home to pull off a few pieces from the underside, including the gas tank, fuel lines, brake lines, all that kind of stuff, because this thing is getting sandblasted later this week. We've got a new core support on there. Give you a little peek. There's the Nismo power brace. This thing is gonna be sick, but let's get this thing home. I didn't even show you guys. This is the trailer we picked up earlier to borrow. Super pimp. This thing lowers down all the way to the ground. I'll show you guys when we get home, but feeling like a big boss with this towing setup. Definitely need to get me something like this. All right, you guys, I completely blew it. I got the truck and trailer home with the 240 on it. Was gonna film it to put in this video, and I was just way too excited and got the 240 off the trailer and the Wagon on the trailer. Let me show you. So this thing is all loaded up now because tomorrow morning I am taking this over to Kirkland to get it aligned. Like I said, we are delivering a car or picking a car up every morning and evening this week. So tomorrow's the Legacy turn. I'm gonna take this, drop it off, and then we got the 240 inside. So this thing is back for a moment. The next thing we're gonna be doing on this is throwing it up on the lift, getting the gas tank and everything out from the underneath, because we're gonna be sandblasting the entire underside of the car, the wheel wells, and getting an entirely new undercoating put on this car. It's gonna be so sick. So with this video, I really just want to show you guys more of what goes on behind the scenes. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes always, even if I'm not filming. And this was just a fun week of car activities, getting cars moved around. So I'm gonna take you guys along for the ride the whole time. I will see you guys tomorrow morning when we take this Legacy over to the alignment shop. We are just days away from ripping on this thing and I'm so excited. Good morning, everybody. It is day 2 of the week of towing. Like I said last night, we got the Legacy all loaded up onto the trailer and I'm headed off to get an alignment now. So I'm gonna go drop this car off in Kirkland, which is about 45 minutes to an hour from here. And if you're familiar with Washington, then I have to go from Kirkland to Tacoma. We're hustling this week, boys. All right, guys, we made it to Clark's in Kirkland. I'm gonna get the car unloaded. I'll throw this camera up on a tripod so you guys can see the unloading process. This trailer is super sweet. I'm definitely gonna need this kind of setup in the future. I'm loving towing with the Raptor. We'll talk more about that later. What a huge day. I've got the Legacy all dropped off at Clark's alignment in Kirkland. They're gonna get this thing dialed in and we're gonna finally be able to drive this car. So I will see this thing tonight. I'm gonna come pick it up after hours. All right, you guys, it is 6 o'clock on Wednesday and we are making the trek up to Kirkland to pick up the Subaru. We've got about an hour drive up there. So I'm gonna get on the road, we'll get there about 7 o'clock, grab the Subaru, take that home, start working on the 240 and get that loaded up onto the trailer tonight so we can take it to the sandblaster tomorrow. All right, guys, I am walking up to the Legacy now and it's just now really hitting me that this car is, with the exception of a few small tweaks, done and ready to drive finally. And I just can't wait to enjoy this car again. This car means so much to me and I'm just so happy to get to enjoy it 10 years later in the ownership of this car in a completely new form. Let me show you. Whew. God damn. It looks so good. I'm so excited. I'm so ready to drive this car. So we're gonna be detailing this thing next, putting the spats back on the rear and the front over here, and then this thing's gonna be ready to rip. But I'm gonna get this thing on the trailer and get headed home because I have a lot of work to do on the 240 and it is already 7 o'clock. She is all loaded up and ready to go home. Let's go ahead and get on the road, you guys. We officially made it home with the Legacy safe and sound. Time to get it off the trailer and on to the next project tonight. So I'm gonna pull the Legacy in, get it parked out of the way over here, and then we gotta get this bad boy up on the lift and start stripping some parts off the bottom, drop it back down onto the dolly, and put it on the trailer. It's gonna be a fun night. Okay, because I'm a little short on time, I got the 240 up in the air already. Now I need to go ahead and take everything off the bottom of this so that it can be sandblasted tomorrow. So here's a little preview of what's to come. This is the Nismo power brace. All of the arms are gonna be this color. Pretty excited about that. That'll look great. Contrasting against the new refreshed rubberized undercoating that we're putting on this, it's gonna look so good. So I'm just gonna work from the front to the back and start stripping everything off. I'm gonna start attacking the fuel lines here next. I'm gonna try to keep these intact, although we are not gonna be using these. We're running entirely new fuel lines from the rails back to the tank. Okay, it's next morning and I just went to town on the 240 last night. It was getting super late and I was limited on time, so I didn't film too much of it unfortunately, but we got the gas tank out. This thing is filthy, so that's gonna be awesome to get that all cleaned up. It appears to be in good shape, no cracks or anything like that, which is huge because these things are hard to find and expensive. Got the evap system all out of it, but the car is completely stripped down. There is literally nothing left on the bottom of it right now. So I'm gonna get this thing lowered back down onto the body dolly cart. And then the last thing I need to look at is if I'm taking this harness out, because it does come up right there, which we will be redoing the wheel wells and everything. So it's probably best just to take that out in the meantime. But I'm gonna lower this thing back down and get ready to go because I need to get this thing over to the sandblaster. And 4 hours of sleep later and a little bit of work this morning, the 240 is stripped down completely and loaded onto the trailer. So I'm gonna take this over to the sandblaster before work this morning. And like I said before, he's gonna be blasting the entire underside of the car and the wheel wells because we are gonna be doing a black epoxy primer on all of those surfaces and following up with a new rubberized undercoating that is gonna look absolutely beautiful. So let's get this over there and we'll be picking this thing up tonight. I realized I did a terrible job vlogging yesterday. I dropped the 240 off. It has now been sandblasted. It's all done, ready to go. It's the next day. We're gonna go pick it up, drop it off at the body shop, and then they're gonna start working on getting that new undercoating all on the car and making it look brand new. So let's go pick this thing up. All right, made it back to Driven Collision Center with the 240. I'm gonna get this thing off the trailer so they can get it in the shop. They're gonna load this thing up onto a rotisserie. do a whole new coat of black epoxy primer on the bottom that has been sandblasted, and then a new rubberized undercoating. It's gonna be beautiful, guys. All right, what a week. It is Friday. Just dropped the 240 back off at Driven Collision Center, which is where we started this whole week. I'm super excited. This is the third and final major work on the 240 that I needed other people to do before I could start working on it. So this is huge. I can't wait to get the car back. And this is probably gonna be the biggest visible transformation that we've seen on the car yet, other than when I washed it, but this is, you guys aren't ready yet.